Lord, give success to the work of our hands. Today, as we think about the wonder of labor, the ability to labor, those who labor to support us, and those whom we support with our labor, we thank you for the gift of being able to work. And we pray for those who possibly would like to work and are not able to find work. And as we move forward tonight in our deliberations, let us remember that we prosper the work of the hands of those whom we serve. Let our decisions be made in that light. Give us the courage that we need, the inspiration that we need, and especially the spirit that we need in order to go forth and to build this into an ever greater community. For this prayer and all prayers, we say, amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any additions to the agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to have one named under the new business.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I need to enter the school system manager in the executive session. If there's no others, I'll move to approve.
There's that.
To approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 17th, 2012, and to approve appropriation ordinance 0501-2012 in the amount of $94,044.69.
Second.
Who seconded?
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say no. Citizen comments. Thank you, fire department. Michael.
The only thing I have is to remove TJ from the fire department and approve Kellen Park.
Take the motion for each.
Yes, please.
Okay, I have to remove TJ Rockwell from the fire department roster,
Second.
and I move to appoint,
Wait. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Okay.
I move to appoint Kellen Park to the fire department roster.
I move to appoint Kellen Park to the fire department. Go ahead. Okay. 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 So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Any questions for Michael this evening? Thanks, Mike. Police Department, Adam?
I'd like to ask for an executive session to include the council and the mayor to discuss personnel for 10 minutes.
So moved.
All in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The meeting back to order.
motion for Adam. Thank you, Adam. Administration, oh, wait a minute, administration now. Good job.
I'd like to request another 10-minute executive session. Discuss non-elected personnel and approve myself, Mayor John Mitchell.
Second.
Oh, is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
I'll move to approve hiring a lifeguard, assistant manager, pool manager, for $7.25 an hour, Angela Hanson.
I'd second that motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
Okay.
Amy, they all said yes.
Okay. 3-0 and 2 abstentions.
Well, these two abstain. yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say no.
Okay, next item are kind of a combination proposed test east well directors for all our other wells. We're going to talk about putting some other test wells down, get the water checked. Called the state up, talked to Brent Turney, and he's the guy that, you know, we go through as far as water rights and drilling other wells and everything. What he told me was it would be mainly up to the groundwater management and the Division of Water Resources in our area to make a recommendation, or they did not have any issues with it. The main thing, so the answer is possibly. The main issue we came up against, John had called and checked into our funding as far as our loan and loan forgiveness on this project if we do this. Don Heller had spoken to
William Carr.
William Carr about this, and his answer to this was that since this was not part of the original preliminary engineering study, and in that original preliminary engineering study, one of the things that was brought out as far as a plan of what we could do, and the wells and other well supplies were not considered an option because of the fact that, you know, there's no guarantee that they are going to stay low nitrate for a long period of time. The state will not give any money, any loan money, or any loan forgiveness on any other part of this, you know, our proposed well project right now, because they're not going to loan money on something that may, in less than 20 years, may not be even an option. So, if we wanted to go this route, we're not going to get any money from the state to do it.
Basically, they won't lend us money thinking that we can't guarantee that the well will stay good as long for the life of the loan. Just like if you're, yeah, so just like if you were to buy a car and it had 150,000 miles on it, the bank's not going to loan you the same kind of money they would for a brand new car.
And the reason they're going with the, you know, giving us some money for this, you know, we're talking about a battery wells out where the plan is proposed to be, is that it will be set up so that it will go through the plant, and it is, you know, will be treated, you know, the nitrates can be, if they come up, we can still use it as a source, and it will still be treatable to us, so we won't actually lose those, you know, the water from those wells if the nitrates go up. These others, if they would, it's, you know, it's something, you know, it's kind of compounding our problem. So basically, there's no funding available for this if the city chooses to do this.
No, there's no funding, it's just that the, will
Not
be covered
that
by the
funding.
loan.
Yeah,
That's
from that particular deal.
Right.
Correct.
But you haven't talked to the local,
Yes, I have.
what'd they say?
I talked to them right after the first time I called Brent Turney, and they, in theory, are supportive of it. as far as there's certain things that they can do as far as, since it's something to meet the criteria for meeting the water regulations, you know, they're supportive of that. Mainly
Who is?
the Big Bend Groundwater Management and Division of Water Resources, both of them Stafford. So
Since it's a compliance issue.
yeah, since it's a compliance issue, mainly they do this barrier well type thing is more for, and deeper well drilling is for a chloride issue. You know, if you've got, you know, chlorides in your water, they'll let you go down deep, hopefully get out of it, and that's where this original, you know, battery has come about. You know, that's the theory behind it, but now we're using it for nitrate. So we already have one application in for this battery of wells for out at the proposed nitrate plant, and they're still looking. He told me today we're still probably 6 months out on that, getting it approved.
I'd still be in favor of looking.
For other funding or
Doing the test well.
Out of pocket.
Yeah.
okay, but we need to be willing to do this at each site. Right now we have two, the west well and the east well are not in compliance. So
If we do the first one and it shows up way high nitrates, we may not
Stop that.
just may say the heck with it. That ain't gonna work.
I would request that the test well be big enough to, what is that, 5-inch, which you test pump hard? Don't do any of the little ones.
Well, like I explained last time,
Yeah, you do 2 monitoring wells, don't you?
that's what we did out there, because while you're doing your test flow on your 5-inch, you're monitoring your different levels of your water to see if they're being influenced. You know, how much your drawdown is affecting those, and if the nitrate levels change in those also. So I think,
Could you use your original well for one of the monitoring wells, and then drill a test well, and then do one other monitoring
I
well?
question whether that would work. I mean,
I don't remember how shallow they were.
some of them were at 30 feet, you know. Some of
Mhm.
you mean the monitoring wells?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had one at 30 feet, and I can't remember what the other one was. So.
But then what about landlords? We should talk to landlords.
Well, when we were running the snag, I didn't do any more on it. I mean, I think before you guys do whatever, but I mean, we want to make sure that even if we go to this expense and find this, we want to make sure that we would be allowed to do what we want to do. I mean, I think, or am I right? I mean, just because we drill a well and find good water does not mean that the state's going to let us do this. I mean, they basically said with the local recommendation, chances are it could go through
And you're saying the local guys are all for it.
on the phone. But, you know, they've got boards and everything that need to, you know, be in agreement. We need something, I think, more official than, I mean, not saying that they're gonna go back on that, but I think before anything goes forward, I think we need to go through the proper procedure. You know, they've got a board over there and everything to make sure that we would have the support, but, you know, with the idea that if we found good water at this depth, that they would be supportive of doing, you know, battery wells.
What do you want me else to do?
That's it. Make sure it'll happen if we do find good water. If that's what we want to pursue at that time.
Okay, so we need to propose something to the board, I guess.
I'll get a hold of, and I'll,
Big Ben.
we'll do both the Division of Water Resources and Big Bend Groundwater Management. I'll just, whatever we gotta do, get a letter from whatever.
I'm assuming you're gonna have to go to the board personally and talk to them.
Yeah, so. That'd be our first step.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter if we don't have their support,
That's
you
right.
know, since spending money.
That's right.
Okay, we'll do that. The next thing I had was the private water wells, and that's Don's ordinance. He would kind of drew that up, and so he wasn't able to be here tonight, so you want to keep moving along, we can table that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, for council, table number 4.
All right. So,
there any questions for Mel? Thanks, Mel.
Um,
Oh.
I have been getting complaints on the stop sign out here on the northwest side of town of why we're stopping it going north when it's a natural dead end coming from this way anyway.
We've already,
And the cedar trees and everything else, you don't notice that sign until you're on it.
well, we trimmed a lot of them back, and if you're doing 30 mile an hour, you've got plenty of advance. I mean, if you're looking,
But why are we stopping that traffic anyway? When that other side is a private driveway and this side is...
it's more for the turning out, and Bobby was, he
Well, I understand that,
but, pulling out, even though we initially started out with a stop sign,
At the dead
going
end.
west.
Mm-hmm.
And even stopping and easing out in there, depending on what equipment you're in, a big truck or something like that, you're out in there far enough. Bobby, we're talking about that stop sign out there.
By Frank's.
We're getting some, but Troy's had some complaints about it, and you might explain your side of the reasoning on that.
Well, that intersection, you can't, when you come from the west, you've got to get from out the center of that road before you can see the traffic going south, coming from the south.
It's blind for
Don't
both
we have the
ways.
right to clean that up and that in right of ways? To make that where it's actually seeable?
We can trim it back some, but I don't know unless you take it clear all the way back. I mean, I don't know at what point you are gonna have to remove it before you can see. I mean, I've had some people comment to me about, we really need to have one going going south also, because that's not, usually when you put stop signs up, a lot of times you should put them in a mirrored situation. In other words, this side stops, this side stops. That way, someone going north, it may assume that this person coming from the other way is going to stop. And so they decide to go left and say, oh, that car didn't stop after all. So that's the other issue that's come up. So,
But yes, we have the right of way to take them trees. Yes.
some of them back, I need to
Some of
measure and
them
see where
back.
that at, because that's, I can't remember what that is there. But I mean, Bobby, what's your opinion? I mean, you're driving a big truck and everything, as far as, you think there's enough if we trim those trees back at some point that it would be safe, or do you think it definitely?
I think it would, but I think the trees are gonna have to come out.
That's what I think too. The trees
I
are
don't
gonna
think
have
you
to
can get
come
them
out.
trimmed back far enough.
No.
Because you got to get out, way out in that, past the east side of that intersection to see going south.
Right.
In fact, I pretty near had a wreck there the other day.
It doesn't make any sense stopping going north when you've got a dead end coming the other way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. But the problem
clear
is
the
you
trees
got to
out
get
if
out
we gotta-
in the in that road
Yeah.
so far.
Before you
There
can
was
even
6
see
foot of tree cut, you could see just.
Well, that's what I'm saying, if you,
I don't
you
think
just
so.
need to
I don't
trim,
think cutting them,
I think
Kevin's
we need
gonna
to trim
help.
the
I think
trees and
I
taking
don't
them
think 6
out.
foot will get it, Kevin.
I don't think 6 foot will get it either.
I think there's going to be an issue. I mean, people will have trees planted for a reason, for blocking wind, dust, whatever, privacy, and to take them clear out. I mean, we've got some regulation as far as site triangles. We never went around other than just doing some trimming for safety reasons. But I think we'll probably have an issue to try and take those trees out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could do some trimming, but I think,
I would measure off your right of way and then let some of us look at it, or all of us look at it and see. I mean, they might have been planted on the line, but trees get bigger. I'm pretty sure they're over the legal line of your new triangle. I should probably stay in anyway.
Yeah, you probably should. Okay, so take a look at it, Mel.
leave the sign up in the meantime, take it down.
Better leave it
no, I
up.
guess we better leave it up, but it's just, got a lot of complaints over it.
Like I
Or
say,
just when you leave in your pickup, just go out by there and go
I
west.
can buy the truck and everything. We go out that way out of town a lot.
Pay attention to it and see where you gotta be.
But go
Where
west.
to,
Oh, come
And-
west.
yeah.
No, whatever, come
Go
that
west
Yeah.
and turn and go south.
Well, I'm
See
sure
what
you
I'm
do have to
talking
be
about.
out
Let
in
me
there,
come-
but
let
what
me
I'm
come
saying
driving
is
down
if
that
we
road
trimmed
and I'll
up
stop
some of
at
that
that
a little
stop
better, we can get rid of the stop sign. And
I mean, I didn't want to put the stop sign there, but I put it in got over on my dog. If he hadn't been on his toes, we didn't have some luck.
Okay. Well, we'll look what we can see in regards to tree trimming, tree removal, along with, okay.
Thanks, Mel. Administration's gone out.
Okay, I gave you the third bid on your table tonight from Turks. And I went ahead and added up everything, including the monthly maintenance agreements for 1 year. And Dirk's total amount was $8,875.
That was what?
$8,875.
That's service agreement and everything?
Yeah, OPI is, actually the first year's, their service agreement is free, but after that, so we really need to consider after that, is, including the service agreement, is $4,165. And Boland's, they do not have the first year free, but it's $4,150. So between Boland's and OPI, there's $15 difference, and that's, you know, not considering OPI's first year free maintenance agreement.
Versus 8,875.
Yeah.
What else does that cost the machine?
I told him exactly the same thing as I told everybody else, you know, what we have, we wanted something comparable. You know, nothing, no more bells and whistles and, yeah, there's some naturally, since this is newer technology, there's a few things that both of these do from Roland's and OPI that this one doesn't. And it's basically, you can plug a USB into it or something like that, copy from it.
This is the one from OPI.
Both Roland's and OPI have that.
Have that capability.
What is the yearly contract
Minimum of $50 for Boland a month, so that's $600, and minimum of $45 for OPI, so that's $540.
You see, would you like to do OPI then?
Well, you know, a lot of times our business is about relationships, and we have had very, very good service from OPI. You know, when we call,
Jerry's right now.
well, Jerry is the salesperson, but the maintenance folks and the folks that work on doing repairs, and even with this one, they could have already said, sorry, we're not working on it anymore, because they can't even get parts for it. But they're trying to make parts from other parts to get us by. So I feel like they've done. Now, I'm not saying Boland's wouldn't do that. I don't have that relationship with Boland's to know. The difference, you know, you're looking at Kyocera for Boland's, and you're looking at a Canon for OPI. So, but I don't. I mean, I'm sure OPI is going to say Canon's better, and I'm sure Boland's going to say theirs is better as far as the brand.
How many pages per minute is the one from OPI?
28 pages per day.
That's terrible.
I don't see it, but it was comparable.
OPI is 25 copies.
Down here, yeah.
Down at the bottom. Yeah.
I'll move to approve OPI's bid.
Second,
More discussion? All discuss it.
good choice. We have Bold newspaper, their services didn't vary.
Thank you. Okay, the next thing on the KBHE loan information, Mel already shared that with you, so we can mark that off real quick. The Leadership Summit, I have put information in the last 2 times, and this is probably about the last time I need to, if you're gonna plan on going, I need to get you registered, and so, just trying to get a reminder out and see if anybody is interested, so we'll make sure anybody that wants to go feels like they can. I can get them registered.
And it is at Wichita, so.
Okay. Number 4 is the possible grant for the tornado sirens. Lisa Cornwell called me the other day, or emailed me and said, are we still interested? And I sent the email conversation to you in your packets. She thinks that it could be as much as a 75% match, grant and 25% match, but would ask council to be prepared to go with the buy one, get one at, 50% match. And then if we did get the more, then all the better, and then Mel had some prices for that.
Right. We had a study done as far as what our needs are as far as, upgrading our siren coverage in town. And one of the recommendations was 7 feet, 8 feet, and it's a battery operated, similar to what we have over here on the exchange. And the price on it with the radio decoder is $9,750.
How many of them do we need to effectively cover town?
Well, this is an improvement as far as the biggest deal they found was that, there's nothing south of 2nd Street as
That's
far
that's later, guys.
as far as our sirens. We don't have anything farther south of 2nd Street, basically. That's our farthest south. So their thought was to put one in the general area of Main and Kendall, with the wind direction traditionally when the storms come, that would help carry some of the sound up through there. I've got the study if you want to look at it. They made recommendations. I told them, gave them a map, and told them what we have right now, and what our coverage is now, inside, outside, and if we add this one siren down here, this will basically help cover this area here. It's not going to do anything up here. We've got a little bit of a gap in through here, and what everybody needs to understand is sirens are for people that are outside. Yes, you can hear them sometimes, but if you're in their house, that's not the purpose of a storm siren. You're supposed to be aware of weather and have your weather radio, TV turned on, or whatever. So people say, well, when I'm in my house, I can't hear my siren. That's very possible. So if we could get 2, that'd be super, I think.
Yeah.
Because we could get more of an overlap. But that was one weak point they did find was to the
If
south.
we just got 2, how many gaps are we going to have in that?
Well,
How many are they recommending we have?
right now they said we have not great coverage, but good coverage with what we have right now. So we have a gap.
And how many do they recommend that we get?
One to improve.
How many to effectively cover town?
One to improve, 2 to effectively
Two
cover.
would be a good
I would
overlap.
say that.
If you look right here, this is what they're saying. See this green circle right here? Okay, if we put this siren down here, that's what we're going to do. We're fairly well covered here. We've got a little bit of a gap over here. If we want to put another one here to pick this up, that would definitely improve. And that's giving an indoor of 85 decibels. What they're saying that this would do. So that you can see where they're saying we've got coverage now. This is limited here with that one out there by the Catholic Church. We've got kind of a gap here. So if you had 2, we could get some help from them where we want to put it. And we would get that circle there, we might be able to see here.
How much is it for this sign?
9,700. Whatever it said it was. Yeah, basically 10,000 probably. You get. If we want to try for 2, then that's some bids on
I'd be in
it.
favor of trying to do.
Or even 3. If that's what it takes to cover the town.
Yeah, you can't.
I'd rather spend $10,000 for a siren that covers the town in case of a tornado instead of some other things we brought up. So,
Now, I live south of the tracks, and I hear it every time I go up on Pickerton side. Tornado sign's going on.
You can hear it?
You can hear it if I'm outside.
If you're outside, what if the wind's blowing?
I've never not heard it
how do you know?
So,
because I've been there.
so John, you want to let him know the money? How we would take the
Saying there ain't no sound when a tree falls in the forest, we ain't there to hear it.
Normally, this would come out of, you know, it's a public service, so it would come out of general fund. However, we don't have that kind of money in general fund. So we would either have to transfer more to general fund and amend the budget, or we could pay for it out of our surplus. So, I mean,
just let you be aware of what the possibilities are going to be. So go ahead and shoot for 3 or you can get 30.
Because looking at this, if you can see as far as the indoor part, we're here, we've got that other electronic one here. Our weakest points are our smaller mechanical sirens. If we would put some here with overlap in there, that would pretty much, we've got a little bit of a weakness up in here, so if we had that much coverage here and over in here, that would pretty well, I would think, get her.
Right. Okay.
let's look at the recent. Okay, the last thing that I have is, I have a thing came across our listserv, the clerk's listserv, and they gave some examples of capital improvement plans. You know, we've had a long-range plan meeting, it's been a couple of years now. I put those in there so you can get some ideas of what other cities are doing to try to look at their infrastructures and put together a plan for all different types of things that are going on. And we don't have to make a decision on anything tonight, even it's probably too late in the year to try to put something like this together to work off of for our budget for this year. We will still have to do our budget similar to how we've done it in the past. It would be extremely helpful if we had this by, you know, if we worked on this maybe end of the summer and fall, so that we had this ready to go, and we could use that for a budget for, you know, several years, and each year then update it. Once it's put together, you've done the work to put it together, then we can just update it each year, and it shouldn't take so much. But it may take several workshops to get it all lined out. So that's just kind of an FYI, and hopefully you guys will, you know, look at that and see if it's, and these are, some of them are from bigger cities, and they have way more projects than what we would have. So your work isn't near as hard as theirs, but I think it would just be a good way for everybody to be on the same page and be looking to the future on some of these issues.
Is there any questions for John this evening? Thanks, John. And Don is not here. New business, Bobby.
Yeah, I read an article in the paper a couple weeks ago. I'd just like to get some clarification from these people involved on what it's all about.
What do you mean? What answer? What questions do you have?
Well, it's in the paper right here. Something about council member alleges behavior or something. I don't understand it. I'd just like to know what it is.
Read it, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what I said it was. There. I was approached to not sponsor a citizen of this community. I was approached by the mayor.
Did you allow it to happen?
Excuse me?
Did you go ahead and sponsor the person? Or
No, I did not.
you did?
No.
So you let the mayor
Yes.
dictate what you do?
Yes.
I've had several people ask me about it, and I really don't know. I wasn't involved. And I'm just curious what happened. Maybe the rest of you know, I don't.
Well, really have no comment on it. I know what was said right there in that office. And I have nothing to hide from anybody. And I can sleep at night. And I can sleep at night. Do you have any more questions?
I do feel like maybe it should have been brought to council instead of being taken to the paper. That maybe would have been a good first step.
Well, I think we should have been approached, been told about when it was going to, from you guys, not from him.
I do believe I talked to Kevin. I talked to Kevin, let's see. This happened on a Monday. I talked to Kevin on a Tuesday.
City council meeting going on. City council meeting going on.
And I let Kevin aware. Is something?
Something to help you with? Ever be at the county?
I don't remember what day I sponsored her.
Tuesday.
Council meeting?
Hi.
Oh, yeah,
Can I help you?
we moved to change the agenda.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
That's when I found out that the day of council.
Okay, now that is with, okay.
I'm just curious, I didn't know what the situation was. I'm just curious. Why did you allow it to happen?
There wouldn't be any penalties, however.
In my mind, it's the mayor.
Driving an expired tag, could risk getting a ticket.
I'll listen to you, but I'm still gonna do whatever I'm gonna do.
I don't honestly know
I don't know.
if they have sent it.
I made a mistake.
I appreciate the work, you know,
But you could call
I
them
just was,
back.
I was trying to figure out what it was.
And I know for sure I did
You called
not
and
tell
talked to the
Mark
treasurer.
not to sponsor her. I told him it was his choice that he had. He did not have to sponsor anyone. Those were my exact words. And if I'm not correct, he'd already told her that he was not going to sponsor her before he came in and talked to me.
Not true.
Because you told me that the newspaper guy called you up and called you everything but a white man over the phone. Am I correct on that, Mark?
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am correct. So you already made up your mind that she was not going to sponsor her. Am I correct, Mark?
No, you're not.
Yes, I am correct.
No, you are not.
Yes, I am correct.
I'm sorry, Mayor, but
Because
no.
you already made up your mind that she was not going to sponsor her.
No,
and
I
he
did
called
not.
you up and really ripped you a new one because you was
This-
not going to sponsor
This
her.
was
I called him
afterwards.
after
This
she
was
told us.
afterwards.
No,
Yes,
you
it
told
was.
me right there in that, and you be quiet. You have no right to speak.
And neither do some of the other.
You have no
people.
right to
City
speak.
council meeting, don't point your finger at me, Joe.
Yes, I will point my finger at you. You have no right to speak. Will you please remove him?
When you're talking to
Adam,
me,
please remove
you're
him.
gonna have to
Pound your gavel.
you can remove him, tell him you'd like him to leave, and then after that, then I can
Nothing,
step
nothing
in.
more said.
You're quoting me.
Please have him removed.
Terry, you gonna finish with me? I honestly don't think you can do that as a member of the press.
Well, I'm asking you to leave.
Terry, you're gonna have to go. All right.
I'm sorry, but you're out of order. That was the conversation, okay? No, I personally did not tell Mark not to sponsor her. I told him he did not have to sponsor her. That was his choice. And he said, everyone has a right to speak. Yes, everyone does. And if I do believe, he did tell me that he disagreed with what was going on. He disagreed with the person that wanted to be sponsored. He disagreed with what she was doing. And I said, then that's your choice not to sponsor her. But in my opinion, it's not important because I know the truth. So. But I do apologize to council members for not letting you know. What else did you have, Bobby?
No.
Okay, old business. Large animal welfare protection. Table. Code of procedure.
The code of procedure, we changed that now where you don't have to have somebody sponsor your meeting.
Only to be on the actual agenda do you have to be sponsored the way I took it last time.
And that's only if they haven't gotten on before noon of the Friday before. And that has not changed. That was the same then. Anybody, they don't have to be sponsored at all if they get on, if they fill out the request to be on the agenda, the request to speak before noon on Friday before, so I can get it out in the packets and they can put in any information. It's right there in the stuff.
So then that way you can study the information.
And so Mark had emailed his corrections to me, which I forwarded to Don, and then Don reworked them as you guys had asked, reworded, because there was some question on the wording. And so he sent this back, and that's what I put on your, was at your place this evening.
You like the way that reads? You guys like it? We want to take action without it.
Do we want to take what?
Take action, revise this to the minutes.
Yeah, we need a motion.
This right here, the mayor will limit the time of each citizen to 3 minutes.
We talked about that last time, we're gonna have to have a limit. That's not saying that she can't let it go longer,
According to the size of the meeting.
but that's,
The wording is just a little, to me, it just may limit.
May limit
It
it.
says the mayor will limit the time of each citizen to 3 minutes. What about may limit?
Yeah, I would have.
I have a concert to attend, I'm gonna step out.
I am too. Kevin, can you come out here and take my chair?
That the only thing?
That makes sense, change that to,
Can or may.
instead of will, the mayor will.
I think it should just say the mayor may limit the time of each citizen to 3 minutes. I mean, if more time is needed and there's not that many people there, of course. More.
We can approve it as corrected if you like.
Do I hear a motion to move as corrected?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries 4-0. Anything on information on power plant grant?
It was down in the other direction.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Hear a second?
Third it.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried 4-0.